What's maybe the single most dangerous thing you can say at the beach? It's not what you think. It's a phrase that sounds so harmless, so confident, but to a lifeguard, it's a massive, massive warning sign. Let's get into why. Okay, so picture this. You're a lifeguard. The red flags are up. Conditions are genuinely dangerous. And someone comes up to you and says this. Your internal alarm bells aren't just ringing, they are absolutely screaming. Why? Because it tells you they're not just underestimating your warning, they are fundamentally misunderstanding the threat itself. And that simple phrase, in the world of professional water safety, it has a pretty chilling name. It's called a high-risk operational failure point. Now, that's not just some fancy jargon. It's the technical term for the exact moment a completely preventable tragedy is about to be set in motion. So, what is the huge mistake being made here?
Well, it all comes down to this one incredibly dangerous idea. We call it the good swimmer myth. This is the core belief that how well you can swim in a pool has anything to do with surviving in the raw, unpredictable power of the ocean. Let's break that down. See, we're all taught to think that being a strong swimmer automatically makes us safe in the water. But here's the reality check. The ocean is not just a bigger swimming pool. Not even close. It's a wild environment with forces that can overpower anyone, and it could not care less about your swimming technique or your endurance. I mean, just think about what a rip current actually is. It is a completely impersonal force of nature. It doesn't know if you're an Olympic swimmer or if you just learned to paddle last week. It doesn't check your physical condition, it doesn't care how old you are, and it sure doesn't care about your confidence. It's just a powerful force, and it acts on everybody exactly the same. And here's the thing that's really wild and kind of counterintuitive. It's often the most experienced swimmers who are at the greatest risk. You know why? Their confidence becomes a liability. They underestimate the power of the water precisely because they overestimate their own ability to handle it. It is a textbook case of dangerous overconfidence. So, if the danger isn't about how well you swim, then what is it? We have to completely shift our mindset. We've got to stop thinking of the ocean as just a big place to swim and start seeing it for what it can be, a genuine hazard. And to do that, we need to redefine the threat. Right, so professionals, they don't call it a strong current. They have a very specific term, a hydrodynamic hazard. And that language is totally deliberate. It reframes the whole thing. It stops being a swimming challenge and becomes what it actually is, a powerful physical force of nature that can leave even an elite athlete completely exhausted in just a matter of seconds. This isn't about strength, it's about physics. Okay, so this brings us back to the lifeguard on the stand. When they blow that whistle and wave you out of the water, they are not giving you friendly advice. They are issuing a directive. And that directive comes from a place of professional authority. Understanding where that authority comes from is absolutely key. And this is why. A lifeguard's decision isn't just some gut feeling. It is a constant, incredibly complex risk assessment. They're analyzing the waves, the tides, the shape of the sandbanks under the water. They're comparing what they see in real time to data from past incidents. They're even calculating their own ability to get to you in time if something goes wrong. It is a data-driven life or death calculation that's happening, second by second. So at the end of the day, a lifeguard's warning is a preventative safety directive. It's not personal advice about your swimming skills. It is an official instruction based on an expert analysis of dangers that you, standing on the sand, probably can't even see. And honestly, it's not up for debate. And yet, lifeguards hear these exact phrases all day, every day. Every single one of them is a classic example of this dangerous mental shortcut we all make. It's called risk normalization. It's that thing our brains do where we underestimate a huge threat just because, everything looks calm on the surface. And here's the truly chilling part. Safety reports are absolutely filled with tragic stories that follow the exact same pattern. A swimmer dismisses a warning with one of those phrases, and just minutes later, they're in a life-threatening situation. The switch from everything's fine to this is fatal can happen terrifyingly fast. But look, safety on the beach isn't just about the choices that individual swimmers make. It's so much bigger than that. It's about having a system of prevention. And the responsibility for creating that safe environment, that starts at the top with management. You see, effective management builds a whole system to support their lifeguards. This means training them to communicate clearly and assertively. It means backing up their authority with really obvious visuals, like flags and signs. And it means giving them clear, established procedures for what to do when people don't comply. The whole point is to create an environment where safety rules are clear, respected, and totally non-negotiable. This is such a powerful way to think about it. The real goal isn't to have heroic lifeguards making dramatic rescues for the cameras. The goal is to prevent those situations from ever happening in the first place. A rescue that could have been prevented isn't a success story. It's actually a sign that the system of prevention failed somewhere along the line.
And that, really, brings us to the fundamental truth of this whole thing. The forces of nature are absolute. You can't reason with a rip current. You can't bargain with a wave. The ocean does not negotiate.
And because of that, our safety protocols can't be negotiable either. For lifeguards, for beach management, the highest form of professionalism isn't the rescue. It's effective prevention. It's about stopping a tragedy long before it ever has a chance to begin. So we'll just leave you with this question to think about. The next time you're standing on the beach and you see those red flags flapping in the wind, what are you going to remember? Will you see them as, just an annoying obstacle getting in the way of your fun? Or will you see them for what they really are? A professional directive based on hard data and a deep respect for the powerful, non-negotiable truth of the ocean.